I know it's hard, Israel. Trying to live right in this wicked kingdom. But our time is coming real soon.
It's been a long time, but it's coming real soon. It's gonna be okay, so I can't stop. I won't stop. Israel, don't stop. Everything that you're going through, suffering, trying to stay faithful in the truth. I know it's how it don't stop. Don't stop. Israel, don't stop. When that day comes, when the chariots come in the sky, everybody's gonna know why. They don't know he's gonna be the son. Yeah, he's the chosen one. Yeah, they don't get to care. And all enemies gonna pay. Now I wanna see that day. I wanna see it. He's gonna be the son. We're the chosen ones. We gon' get the key. And you believe what the Bible says. Get ready for the good times up ahead. I'm telling you, don't stop. Stay focused, child. In a minute, we gon' be in the kingdom, yeah. You don't believe it, I don't really care. I can't wait to see it, I just wanna be there. Israel, if you're with me, let me know you're with me, say yeah. When the chariots come in the sky, everybody's gonna know why. They gon' know he's gonna be the son. He's gonna be the chosen. We're the chosen ones. We gon' get the kingdom, yeah. Our enemies gonna pay. Yeah, they're gonna pay. I see that day. I wanna see that day. He's gonna be the son. We're the chosen ones. We gon' get the kingdom. I see the Savior. And I see the Savior in front of me. Oh, what I'm gonna do, I don't know. So happy that I don't know my knees are there. My hands in the air, oh, speak home. In the land of Israel, where we belong. Oh, we can sing the song of Zion, y'all. Oh, what a happy day. That's what I'm waiting for, yeah. When the chariots come in the sky, when they come, everybody's gonna know why. He's gonna be the son. We're the chosen people. We gon' get the kingdom, oh, yeah. And our enemies, yeah. Now when I see that day, I wanna see it. He's gonna be the son. We're the chosen ones. We gon' get the kingdom, yeah. See, the Bible says that it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation to those that trouble you. We gon' get the kingdom, yeah. After everything they did, we gon' get them back and then we gon' get the kingdom, yeah. I know some of y'all don't like that, but that's the truth, oh yeah.
This is truth music, the truth movement. Yo, we've been a part of the biggest conspiracy the planet has ever known, man. You ever wonder why everybody seems to hate us? Everywhere we go, seems like everybody hates us. The world is against us. We gon' bring y'all some light, you know what I mean? Check it out.
It's been a long time, but we waking up so many lies we told, we waking up so many, locked up so many, shot down. You get me to the biggest crowd, try to hold us, try to break us, take our names away, but couldn't shake us. Now I pray to the Most High with all your might. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites. Lie to us, Christians lie to us. Read the Bible, the history is tied to us. Nobody died for us, Messiah died for us. Ask the saints, all of them cry for us at last. The truth has finally come out, we the people of the Bible. This is no doubt, can these bones live? I am living proof and baffled why my people hate the truth. False religions, false idols, false titles. This is truth music, not elementary recitals. Feel this, y'all. Get close to the speaker. The world strengthens me when I'm feeling weaker. Let it sink down.
heights. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites. Long time to be waking up, so many lies been told. We waking up, so many locked up, so many shot down. You can't keep to from his crown. Try to hold us, try to break us, take our names away, but couldn't shake us. Now pray to the Most High with all your might. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites.
Close your eyes. Picture 400 years of slavery. The same people had a lifetime full of bravery. Hung in trees just like the Savior. Had to break up the pen and put the truth down on paper. And if you don't believe me, check out the script. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. That's the tip on who was brung to the U.S. on slave ships. Learn real history, not this BS. Heretics, governments, politicians making satanic decisions. Walt Disney turning kids into magicians. But now, truth is coming out in these last days. Put your strong drink down and throw away your haze. Plagues, don't worry, the Most High will bring them. You want to know whose address is from the kingdom? We from the big cities, plus the big lives. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites.
Long time to be waking up, so many lies been told. We waking up, so many locked up, so many shot down. You can't keep to it from his crown. Try to hold us, try to break us, take our names away, but couldn't shake us. Now pray to the Most High with all your might. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites. Sit back, thinking deep like the pit. Man, it's Israelite being is really it. Mind blowing. Who knowing? Try to stop me from flowing. Red or green light. I just keep on going. I quiet up like a church mouse that's tiptoeing. My brothers live in falsehood. They not knowing. Think we niggas can be black Americans, Democrats, or Republicans. Pledge allegiance to fraternity. Burn eternally. Tell them the truth. My folks quit to turn on me. They still learning me. My family is concerning me. I got a flow that's just straight up be earning me. But say you got a twist in the back, y'all don't miss it. They call me king, but my hand, you don't kiss it. We from the big cities, plus big heights. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites. Long time to be waking up, so many lies been told. We waking up, so many locked up, so many shot down. You can't keep to it from his crown. Try to hold us, try to break us, take our names away, but couldn't shake us. Now pray to the Most High with all your might. What a feeling, y'all. We the Israelites. The truth movement. This is truth music, 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 the truth movement. We the Most High's chosen people. This is truth. We gotta wake up and act like it, man. Pull your pants up, man. This is sisters, y'all gotta cover yourselves. It's not the way of the Most High. This is truth. Chosen people. What a feeling. We the Israelites. The Messiah was black, man. Moses was black. Man. We gotta reverse the curses. Y'all gonna get close to the speaker. So with me, focus and energy on the Most High, man. These technologies are just nothing but spit to them. Spittle. They call them young people, man. But we gotta be a light to the Gentiles. Y'all know people, man. I'm transparent, man, when I'm on this mic. I'm the music, man. You can see my soul, my spirit. Everything, man. I lay it on the line for you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we the children of Israel. The Most High's chosen people, man. Oh, zone out with me. Zone out with me. Focus on the Most High. Lord of Messiah. Follow the 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 Messiah.
Shalom, family. Shalom. I'm so glad you're here. Absolutely. Good to see you all. We know this, what the Gentiles celebrate as their holiday, we know this is definitely not the time of the year for New Year's. You know, it's a dead season. Winter is a dead season. Why would you begin your year during the dead season? You know, spring, the new year is always when spring happens because everything comes back to life. Okay, there's no life out here in the winter, you know? So it's definitely the wrong season. It's no way. Can you imagine? We're in a deep freeze here in New Jersey. In fact, a big portion of the country is in very cold conditions. Why would the greatest man that ever lived on the planet have his birthday during this season? Makes no sense. So we don't care about their holiday. We really don't. You know, spring is the season that we celebrate the Hebrew New Year, not winter. Okay, that's when the trees are blooming, the flowers are coming up, and everything is full of life out here in the wilderness that we are living in. So, look, if you're in New York City or in the Northeast, you know how cold it is right now. Yeah, it went down to about 12 degrees where I am. With the wind chill factor, it said it felt like -2. And towards the end of the week, we are going to be in single digits at night. Single digits. Okay. Single digits. So yeah, you know, we ain't out of this deep freeze yet. We got to still go through at least another week. Yeah, you know, Jada T, I have relatives in Atlanta and they told me it was 19 degrees when I called and I spoke to them yesterday. Actually, they called me and I was on the phone with them for a little while and it was 19 degrees, she told me, down there. That is like insane, especially for the South. Hi, Lisa Green. Welcome. Yeah, it's very cold, very cold. And the trolling is up, but you know, please don't respond to them. Just get rid of them. And if you see them in the comment section, please don't respond to the trolls. 51 degrees is pretty balmy right now compared to what we're feeling, the true royal family. Woo. Don't respond to them. You know, I'm getting more and more each day, which I'm not surprised. Remember, these are people with no life. They have nothing else better to do but to sit around worrying about what Black people do and say. So just chalk it up as somebody with no life. Don't respond to them because when I delete their comment and block them, then that means your comment that you made gets deleted too. So please don't pay attention to them. They're only coming not to understand you or dialogue with you. They're coming just to get a back and forth started. You respond and you go back and forth, and that's exactly what they're looking for. Don't give them what they're looking for. Don't give it to them. Yeah, it's very cold. It's very cold across the country. And we got some snow Saturday. And that snow is going to be hanging around for quite some time. It's going to be hanging around. It's not going to be melting anytime soon. No, don't even waste your time. They're not trying to come and get to know Black people or even be of any use to Black people. They're coming for one reason and one reason only, and that's just to get some back and forth garbage going, and nobody should be interested in that. So just ignore the trolls, act like their comment is not even there when they make the comment, just pretend like it's not there, go around them and continue to respond to each other and act like they're invisible. That's the best thing to do because they can't stand to be ignored. Yeah, so, you know, much of the country is cold, you know, very much of it. You know, I was really looking at the weather all around the country. It's very cold across the entire nation, damn near. So we're going to get into a few things. Yeah, trolls are not important. You know, they're people would believe me. If they had a real life, they wouldn't be spending their time on Black channels. So that should say it all right there. All right, so we're going to get into some stories that I'm going to put up on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, True Royal Queen. Thank you for putting my link to Black Junction TV. If you are not a subscriber of mine over there, please get subscribed. That way, you know, you can also watch my videos over there. And guess what? It's troll free over on Black Junction TV. I mean, seriously, who are they going to report you to? And no one. So just go right ahead and subscribe. And if you want some peace and you don't want to look at troll comments, go over there and watch the videos. And you can also watch the videos on blackspot.com. Okay. In fact, I was over on Blackspot getting myself caught up over there as well this morning. So definitely don't forget about going to Blackspot. All right. Let me share my screen because there's some things I want to show you. All right. All right. Now, if you have a weak stomach, don't watch this because I'm about to show you a person that was using the sunbed, the sun tanning beds, and what happened to her face is pretty horrific. So you got a weak stomach, you might not want to look at this. So I'm going to give you fair warning. All right, y'all. Yeah, yikes is right, Kira. Wait until you see this. It's really gross. So if you have a weak stomach, please turn away from your computer. Please turn away. All right. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this came out on the Daily Mail. Shocking pictures of former sunbed addict who would deliberately burn herself for a better tan. So she went overboard using the tanning bed, trying to get some color in that pale skin. And they had to cut the tumors out of her face, which left a hole in her face. So again, if you got a weak stomach, don't watch this. Okay, so she is battling skin cancer that left a giant hole in her face. She had 15 procedures to remove facial tumors after being diagnosed with skin cancer from the tanning bed in 2013. This is a 62-year-old woman, okay? And this is what melanoma, malignant melanoma, has done to her. Y'all see that? This is what it's done. Again, there is no way anybody is looking at the effects of what tanning beds, ultraviolet lights, and sun does to their skin, and they will believe these people are the builder of any ancient society. It's just not possible. It's not believable. And the sun is really, you know, these things, when they occur to them, is very telling. Now, they'll come back and say Black people need sunscreen. Don't pay attention to that. You know, I come from a fairly large family. My mom and my dad's side, both large. Nary Black person on either side of my family had experienced skin cancer, and nobody wears sunscreen. Okay, no one wears it. We're not having any issues, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see they had to graft skin onto her face. You know what, when they cut skin from another part of your body and then they graft it on. Well, they had to do this to this woman. As you can see, her forehead had skin cancer. Okay. And they had to use skin behind her ears, thighs, and shoulders, and even eyelids. So they had to take skin from a variety of different parts of her body to cover up the gaping hole on her face from the skin cancer. Okay. And this is what she used to look like right here. All right. Moving on. Okay. But see, again, these people have spent the greater part of their life using propaganda and all types of things in the media, magazine covers, and everything to try to promote their skin as being the best skin on the earth. But again, so many things are telling the truth. These people do not have no best skin. They actually have the worst skin on the planet. Their skin does not hold up well against the sun at all. Their skin ages faster than everyone else. Their skin sags, it wrinkles. They are the only people on the planet that get those turkey necks. And when they lose weight, like when Black people lose weight, our skin just goes back into place. When they lose weight, they have to get surgery to get rid of hanging and loose skin. That is not no damn best skin. You know, if you continue to watch their media and believe in everything they say, you know, you shouldn't be believing none of it. Look at this. Does this look normal to you? This ain't even normal. Okay? This ain't normal. In 2015, I started radiation therapy for 2 years and had surgery too. I would come back from surgery, get back home and think it was getting better. Then all of a sudden, I noticed a little black speck at the bottom and rang the hospital. So every time she was healing, she was finding more skin cancer. This ain't no damn good skin. Okay? It's just not. Okay? They've been promoting a lie to the entire world about their skin. I have not come across one Black person walking around with a gaping hole in their skin because the sun or some tanning bed or some ultraviolet light did this to their skin. I never come across one. And you know what? The ones that are telling you Black people need sunscreen too, they never seen it either. They never seen that shit either. And you should never believe it, ladies and gentlemen. You should never believe that when you hear it. Okay? Because it's simply not true. So now she said she's scared to leave the home. The ex-bank cashier was left with a gaping hole in her face following her treatment and says it has left her scarred to leave the house. So she's scared of the sun. This woman is literally scared of the daylight because of everything she's gone through in her life. And she's advising youngsters to steer clear from tanning beds. This is a danger specifically for them, ladies and gentlemen, not for us. First of all, we don't need tanning beds. Number two, again, I got a large family. I have never seen one family member walking around with skin cancer. I never seen one family member walking around with gaping holes in their face or going to surgeons to have skin cancer removed. That has never occurred in my family. Okay? But see, it just makes them feel good to believe that you need all the same things for your skin that they do. And it's just simply not true, ladies and gentlemen. It is just not true at all. Well, yeah, they damn near have to live a vampire existence. They have to steer clear of the sun, any type of ultraviolet lights or anything. Remember, even their eyeballs get sunburned. Exactly, cosmic light. Big old hole in your damn face, but you still think you're better than the children of the sun. You're right. They still do. They still do. And it's just all the propaganda that's taught. This is why, number one, our people got to break away from any of their propaganda, because all that stuff that they talk about don't even pertain to us. So why are we watching it? Why are we watching it? And we already know their media is very anti-Black. Again, why watch something that it's hell set? It's been against us since it's been a media in this country. Just look at the media even 100 years ago. It's very anti-Black. When they wrote about the lynchings, very anti-Black. When they wrote about slavery in the media, even back in the 1800s, very anti-Black. And it has not changed to this day. So why continue to watch something that is anti-Black against us? They're going to continue to lie in the media about them having beautiful skin and they're the standard of beauty. That thing with the gaping hole in her face is told that she is the standard of beauty on this earth. Do you see any beauty in that skin? There's no beauty in it. None. Okay. Sorry, but there is no beauty in that skin. Yeah, I don't wear sunscreen, and I don't care what argument they come with. I am not putting it on. I never burnt in the sun a day in my life. Why would I wear it? I'm not wearing it. Okay, so they can make the suggestion all they want. I'm just telling Black people, if you never burnt in your entire life, there is no reason for you to worry about burning now. Okay, they are burning in the sun because their asses are foreign to this earth. Okay, the earth is revealing to you who really has the worst skin on the planet. Plain and simple. Yeah, we are. Our melanin is priceless. There is nothing on this planet of more value than having your melanin. And that's the damn truth. Yeah, there's a lot of subliminal messages. You know, all of their propaganda is to poison the entire world against us. And as long as you sit around and continue to believe everything they say, then it will work. Well, they can't make us get skin cancer. Always remember that. Your melanin is built-in sunscreen. They can't get that away from you. Not unless you're dumb enough to strip it out with all of those bleaching creams, which you should love your melanin enough not to do that. See, they love stories about Black people bleaching themselves. They absolutely love that. But see, I'm not so poisoned that I believe their propaganda. I don't believe their propaganda at all. Yeah, trust me, if they could figure out a way to get your skin away from your Black people and put it on themselves, they would have done it by now. They can't. Okay. They've been on this earth for 6,000 years and still never perfected a decent sunscreen. Does that sound like an advanced people to you? They've tried chemtrails. They've tried all kinds of methods is in their clothing and everything else to block the sun out, and it's still not working. 6,000 years later, it's still not working. Does that sound like an advanced people to you? Seriously, does that sound like somebody that's got a high amount of intelligence? No. Well, they can't be us, and they need to get over that. You know, coming to Black channels and screaming about us having low IQs. Well, what kind of IQ do you have? You've been here 6,000 years and your ass is still burning to a crisp out in the sun. So, so what kind of intelligence is that showing? Right. But you know what? No matter what they try to inject, remember, they got to keep getting those injections. It's not a one-time deal. It fades. I mean, what's that woman, Marlena Big? She even said every 3 months she had to get injections over again, or otherwise her skin would go right back to being pale again. So it's not like they inject it once and that's all they need to do. They stay dark. It doesn't work that way. Those melanin injections wear off. It's not permanent, y'all. Not permanent. You know, what we got is permanent. We don't have to alter it or do anything else. They got to try to alter their skin in order for it to look dark. We don't have to do anything. I remember one year I went down to Florida and I was down there for most of the summer. When I came back, I got darker. And the funny part is the sun had lightened my hair. It got to maybe like an ash brown color. And it was just a natural color, just for me being out in the sun a lot when I was down there. And when I came back, everybody thought that I looked great. They were like, you got darker, your hair got, wow, you know? And I literally didn't do anything. All of it was just natural phenomena. Just the darkness, you know, the sun I just ramped up the melanin in my body and I just got darker. But that's the worst thing that's going to happen to our skin. We ain't going to, you're not going to go vacation somewhere, be out in the sun, and then end up with some gaping hole in your face. Those things don't happen to us. I don't care how much they keep trying to con you into believing you need sunscreen. Don't fall for their propaganda. How would we have survived on this earth as long as we have? We've been the first people on this planet. How would we have survived if we needed all this special stuff to put on our skin to block out the sun? We would never have been able to survive this long, ladies and gentlemen. So how did we do it? How do we do it if we need sunscreen now? Don't fall for that garbage. She looks like a freak. Martina Big, she looks like a freak with them big, giant basketball boobs, and she looks like a freak. Yeah, yeah. And actually, Nia Beta, our skin is supposed to renew itself. That's why we're supposed to wear only certain fabrics. Like in the Bible, you know, they wore cotton, they wore linen, because those materials help your skin renew itself over and over. All these blended synthetics, we're not even supposed to wear that. You're not supposed to wear no blended cotton blended with synthetic material. You're not even supposed to wear that. This is garbage that came from the Gentiles. That's not good for our skin. Right. Even and Regina Davison, you brought up a good point. Just about all of the sunscreen in the stores are toxic. Why would any Black person want to put that on? If you don't see it working for these caucasoids, what is it going to do for our skin? Seriously, what is it going to do for our skin if it's not even working for them? You're wasting your time putting that shit on. It's not even working for them. Okay? It's garbage. You know, I even did an article on that. Damn near all of the sunscreen on the shelf is toxic. All of it is toxic. Now, why would you take something toxic that they made and put on the store shelf and put it on your Black skin? You gonna put their toxic shit on your black skin? Why? Why? Shoot, that stuff will pass through your skin, get into your system, and you don't know how you're going to react years from now putting that shit on your skin. And they make all kinds of excuses. They make all kinds of excuses about what they did back in ancient Egypt. And one of the things they say, oh, we use olive oil. Olive oil would never work for them. Okay, it would never work for them. If that's the case, why have all the sunscreen on the shelf? Why don't you just use olive oil? You know why? Because it doesn't work. If olive oil was the answer, you would have seen it on them by now. They're not wearing it because the shit don't work. And I worked at a place that made sunscreen and we had to wear protective gear from head to toe. Yeah, that right there should tell you something's wrong, Craig J. Right, it would fry them even more. I am queen. The olive oil would fry them even more, but they're trying to convince everybody that wearing their sunscreen is good. But in the meantime, we're seeing that wearing the sunscreen ain't even good for their asses. So how could it be good for everybody on earth and it's not even good for them? They're showing us that just looking at their red, burnt up skin and pus balls and skin cancer, they're showing us how worthless their sunscreen really is. Trust me, they didn't wear olive oil back then. They weren't even in Egypt back then when those pyramids and everything was built. It's just their wishful thinking as usual. Well, first of all, even plants got melanin. Okay, even plants got melanin. They just got a different type of melanin, but even plants got melanin. In fact, everything on this earth, damn near everything on this earth got melanin. So no, he's not like a plant. He's not like a plant, okay? Even the plants can survive out here. You don't see no sunscreen on plants, and they do just fine. In fact, thank you. Thank you for the $2 donation. Right. So the plants even got melanin. The plant's melanin is called chlorophyll. And many of you know what chlorophyll is. So the plants are not burning up out there. They'll make up anything just to make up excuses for why they don't do well in the sun. They'll make up any damn story and try to tell you and act like you're going to just believe it. And that's another thing. Stop believing everything these devils say. Stop believing them. Period. Stop it. Because too many of our people are still doing that mess, even to this day. Stop believing these damn people. You gonna keep believing your former slave master children? Are you kidding me? When have in the last 5 centuries they have told, thank you, sending more money. Thank you, darling. I really appreciate it. When have they ever told the truth in the last 5 centuries? We got to get out of this thing about believing every damn thing they say. Their word should not hold any weight with us whatsoever, y'all. They shouldn't hold no weight with us. And we got to get out of this. Anything they say, you believe it. Like I said, when I start double checking years ago, things they would say to me, and I'm telling you, 99.999% of the things they tell you is a damn lie. Start checking behind everything they say to you. I promise you, the vast majority of it will be lies. We got to get out of this thing about believing everything they say. And I know it's the effects of white Jesus on our people that want to believe these folks got these sun-burning pussball people or some godlike status when they are clearly not. Yeah, we can't help the Black Christians. I think it's just time to leave them to their own accord. Whatever happens to them, hope they can deal with it. Yeah, it really is, Jada T. Everything they do is one big ass lie. That is the damn truth. We have got to stop this believe and trust everything they say. We should know better by now to steer clear away from them and believe even less about whatever they have to say. I have been resending your videos. Thank you. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Look, I'll just post my email address. That's not a problem. You can send me whatever you need to. There's my email address. Yeah, me too. Regina Davis and I do the same thing. Whenever they tell me something, I always just assume it's a lie. But, they got the nerve to try to make it seem like they can't. They have to double check everything Black people say. Get the fuck out of here. We didn't mislead them for 5 centuries. They misled us. I don't want to hear that bullshit from them. Yeah, I have an uncle that said the same thing. He said, whatever they tell you, do the opposite, because the opposite is probably true. he, said, he said the same thing. He said, whatever they say, do the opposite. The opposite is probably the right thing you should be doing. Yeah, Xerxes 666, China is only going to be in power temporarily. Remember, their time is very short. You know why they're going to fall? They're going to fall because when they do take over world domination, they're going to start acting just like these caucasoids. And that's going to be their downfall. Thank you. Marcia, thank you. Tasha and Von J, thank you. Thank you for all of the donors today. I do deeply appreciate it. Yeah, no, in fact, remember, Moab is going to be completely destroyed. Nubian, that's their judgment. They're only going to be taking over temporarily. They will not have longevity in the world. They're going to lose it almost as fast as they get it. Yeah, they are liars. They are. And they have no intentions on doing anything different, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you got to stop believing them. You got to stop believing them. Yeah, Moab is being destroyed. Remember, they can't even get the kingdom. Moab, the House of Moab, the entire thing is going to be destroyed because of the way they came about in the earth. Remember, they came through incest. That's why they look so different on this planet than everybody else. Remember Lot and Lot's daughters? Lot's daughters had sex with their father, and that's where these Asians come from. That's where they come from. That's why they look so different in comparison to everybody else on this planet. They're not even allowed to come into the kingdom as a handmaiden and servant. Their entire kingdom is going to be destroyed. You will not, once this world falls, you will not see another Asian again. They are going to literally be wiped off the earth. Right along with Esau. They all got to go. And that includes the East Indians and all of them. They all got to go because technically they're Asians. Yeah, yeah, King Stan. That's why they look so odd. They're the product of incest. So they have zero chance of surviving. Yeah, that was Lot's wife, Water Sniper, told her not to look back, and that's exactly what she did. I told him I already put my prayer in with the Most High. I said, if you tell me not to look back at America, you can best believe I won't do it. I won't do it. You know, looking back means you feel like you're going to be missing something. And no, no, once this place goes, no, I will not feel like I'm missing a damn thing. Yeah, you know, that's why I posted the video today with the former teacher, that East Indian woman, just to show you that many of these people that come from different nations, they have that same disdain for us that you even see the Caucasoid having. And the worst part is she doesn't realize it's the people here that paved the way for somebody like her to even be here. That's what many of these dark skinned foreigners don't realize. If it wasn't for us and our fight and everything our forefathers have done, they wouldn't even be here to this day. They would not be here, period. Shalom, humble. I'm not surprised, Mikkel Zion. I'm not surprised. I'm serious. I'm not surprised that they do that. This place, you gotta, just from what you're seeing, you gotta understand why the Most High have to destroy this place. They would do this same shit 1,000 years from now and make it even worse if he doesn't get rid of this place. Thank you, Marcia Rose. May the Most High be with you and keep your whole family protected. No, no, the earth is going to go back to the way it was intended to be. And that's the children of Israel being on this planet. All these other nations, you know, they're of no use. You know, remember the Most High said cosmic light, they are spittle. They are spittle. Yeah, I am queen. I know they have baby soup. I saw that. I saw that a few years ago and I was disgusted by it. That's what they do to their aborted fetuses over there. They make soup with it, baby soup. And then people will virtually eat anything. You shouldn't be too surprised. Yeah, they are. They are, CK Nelson. They are. The people that are the most wicked on this planet are the most petrified to die. That is the truth. That is the truth. Yeah, you know what? CK, I had an article from a few years ago. I don't think I still have it. And it showed them putting the dogs in fryers and frying them up. They got these big fryers and they put their dogs in there and they fry them up. Remember, we can't eat anything with paws, so and have no interest in anything like that. Yeah, they do. They cannibalize each other. And really, baby soup is that. You know, baby soup is cannibalism. That's what it is. It's cannibalism. Yeah, you know, King Stan, that's a wise thing to do. We don't eat it here either. I used to back in the day, but no, not anymore. Yeah, that's because they will eat anything. That's the thing. You know, Water Sniper T. West made that suggestion that black people move to the southern half of the United States and take that over. I don't know. Does that get rid of our oppression? I don't think it does. We're still going to be in the system of white supremacy no matter where we move in this country. You know, The only way I would do it is if we can govern ourselves, we can police ourselves, we can grow our own crops and eat our own food and do things like that with no interference. Then, yeah, it's worth it. Then it would be worth moving and being around each other and being together. But if we're going to move and still be under the system of white supremacy, then what's the point? Humble. I like what you wrote. Any nation that names their food poo poo platter. Got to be some low down dirty dogs. That is the truth. Yeah, exactly, Water Sniper. If we can get our own police, get our own military, and we can live in a way where they are not interfering with our daily lives, then I'm all for it. But if we're going to move around and shift around and still be under white supremacy, then what's the point? Why should I leave from where I am? I don't want to leave here and then just end up in another situation, just in a different part of the country, but still dealing with the same white supremacy. It wouldn't be worth it. Yeah, I saw that plastic rice, 12 key to freedom. I saw that. And, like I said, they will eat anything. That comes from the Asians. They'll eat anything. And you can best believe if they become the superpower on earth, they're going to be mass producing that shit and sending it everywhere. So the bottom line is we can't trust anything like that from Gentiles. We have to trust ourselves. Yeah, I know, Regina Davison. They will never leave us alone. That's prophesized. They just can't. They literally have no life. If we weren't here, they would literally have no life at all. Their life is, whether it's negative or positive, communicating with us, and usually it's always negative, because see, they're taught, if they taught speak to us negatively all of the time, that's keeping us with low self-esteem, and that's a load of bull crap. But it's just feel good stuff they choose to believe, but it's a bunch of bullshit. No truth whatsoever. That's right, Aaliyah. No, if we weren't around, um if we weren't around, they would literally go after each other. They would, seriously, they would go after each other. That's right, Michael Zion. They would go after each other if we weren't here. They would literally start oppressing each other and killing each other. Duma S, I lost my concern for other groups a long time ago, even before I knew I was Hebrew. I lost all respect. I have not met one that I can say, that is one I could really respect. Even the ones that speak truth, I say still proceed with caution when you're dealing with them. Don't be quick to let your defenses down because they're saying something that you may like. Because you don't know how genuine they are, and they don't have a history of being genuine people at all. Well, see, they have to make as many of them as white as possible, CK, because their numbers are in the toilet. That's why so many of these other non-white groups, when they come to America, they are listed as white because their numbers ain't worth shit now. And they haven't been worth nothing for a while. Remember, they've been declining since the 1950s. Now it's becoming more obvious. They can't hide it. They have to come out with the information because they can no longer hide their low birth rate and their decline all around the world. It can't be hidden. Yeah, well, Regina Davison, they would follow us wherever we went. If we did all pack up and go to Africa, they would start cropping up in Africa all over. You would see white Americans cropping all over the place in Africa, trying to be around us. And see, that's what makes me laugh about them. They'll complain about black people, but they sure won't keep their asses away from the same people they're complaining about. That's why I don't even pay them that's why I laugh at their complaints. Their complaints mean nothing. How the hell you gonna complain about a group of people, but you won't stop coming around the very group that you're complaining about? Give me a break. Yeah, we always have Hamites and coons that are sometimes worse, but again, those are people we have to keep isolated and away from us. There's nothing else we can do. Well, Darwin, I think, is the only one that spoke the truth about them. He even said that the Neanderthal was an ape-like creature. That's what Darwin said. And of course, anything that don't sound like it's coming out in their favor, they try to debunk it. Yeah, Mo Weems, Africans are turning out to be even bigger coons than we are, which I never thought I would live to see that. So that just go to show you they're not as united as you think. I used to think Africans were more united, but after seeing what happened in Zimbabwe, that's not the case at all. If that were the case, they would have fought a lot harder to keep Mugabe in power. The fact that they let a coon get in there and they're happy that the white farmers are getting their land back, they're gone. They're completely gone. Yeah, exactly. Vanguard. Burritos. They are colonized people and it's ingrained in them. That's all it's showing us. And then, of course, when I wrote my disdain for Zimbabwe, some white people came on there and said, "How you gonna eat? Are you out of your fucking mind? We are the first original people on this earth. What do you mean, how we gonna eat? We gonna eat the same way we did before your white ass showed up." Don't let them con you into believing that you can't eat unless they're involved in the whole thing. You can eat every single day. Put a garden in your backyard. Grow one on your balcony if you're in an apartment. Trust me, you can be a vegetarian and eat right out of your garden every day without the help of a white man. Okay? So they are dreaming when they say that crap. They are dreaming. And don't ever believe that. We were the first human beings on the face of the earth. We did not rely on them for food. And you still technically don't have to rely on them for food now. When I do my garden every year, I don't get one drop of produce out of the supermarket. I literally eat everything that grows out of my garden. I do not need one drop of their GMO peppers and tomatoes that they put out there in the supermarket trying to kill the damn public. So don't even listen to that. How you going to eat? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. But see, that's the kind of shit that they try to put in your head. You know, it's not that we depend on them. They had to set up a structure and put a nation together trying to force you to depend on them. Big hell of a difference. They force your hand. Nobody is willingly depending on these people. They're putting their system in place to force you to do it. Big difference. That's why I'm Xerxes 666. I try to encourage our people to eat organic. Leave the GMO shit on the shelf for the white people. They created that shit, so let them eat it. Let them eat that frankenfood that they put out on the shelf. You stay away from it. They made it, let them eat it. Yeah, you know, I always tell our people, even start, if you can't do anything else, get at least a tomato plant and grow it indoors. Tomato plants grow very well indoors. Grow it indoors. Just find a sunny spot in your home. I'm telling you, tomato plants throw out so many tomatoes. You will never have to buy another tomato probably for a couple of years. And those plants, as long as they're in a warm place, they'll just keep producing over and over. Yeah, and plus, we're not the same people. We were never intended to eat the way they eat. We're not the same people. We are very different from them. This is why the Most High gave us a dietary law in Leviticus. He gave it to us because we are a set apart people and we have to eat in set apart ways. So we can't eat all this gentile junk that's out here and expect our health to remain good. It's not. We're going to keep falling health-wise and ending up with all kinds of physical issues if we don't stop eating that shit that they call food. That's right, New Nubian. They fed us swine. And they knew when they gave us the swine, we were never supposed to have it. They already knew that before they gave it to the slaves. And don't use any canola oils or anything like that. Try to use olive oil. And try to use coconut oil. Even if you have to fry things up. Use that. Do not use their canola oil and all that crap they got on the shelf. Leave that stuff alone. You know, a lot of things they got on the market out here, they advertise as healthy, and it's not healthy at all. It's not healthy at all, y'all. Yeah, you know, they make a lot of stuff. American Diet, Otera, Judah, Lioness, the American diet got to by far be the worst on the entire planet. It is the worst on the earth. And there's a reason why they keep putting these fast food restaurants around Black neighborhoods. You know, they want you to eat that shit and have an early death. That's what they're trying to do to us. They are hybrids. So, and we are real humans. So there's no way our diets are supposed to be exactly the same. Grapeseed oil is okay. Yeah, anything that's natural. Avocado oil, great. That's what you want to stick with. And don't get their canola and their vegetable oil. Don't use canola Lisa Green, because they're finding a lot of people that use canola are getting dementia. So try to eliminate canola altogether and stick with your olive oil and your coconut oil. That's right, King Stan. All non-blacks are hybrids, and that is the truth. That is the truth. Even the non-blacks that may even have some melanin in their skin, they're still hybrids. Just like you see the East Indians, they're still hybrids. Well, yeah, that's why they love black people going and getting the fried chicken and stuff. And we got to get away from that. There's healthier ways to prepare your food. Yeah, just be careful with canola oil and try to stick with the right. hmm Water Sniper, I'm going to do a separate video on that, the dietary laws, and post the actual foods that, the animals that are clean and the vegetables and the things that we can have. I'm going to do that in a separate video. Yeah, being a vegetarian is good. So extra virgin olive oil is very good, even good for the hair and skin. hmm So y'all pretty much up on things. That's good. That's really good. Just be wary of any of the oils that they want to sell you real cheap, like the vegetable oil and corn oil. And, if it's really cheap, don't buy it because chances are those are the oils that are not good for you. Oh, yeah, they freely will give you anything that's not good for you and make it as cheap as possible. Yeah. Yeah, pumpkin seed oil is good. Yeah, that's another good one. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I back in the day, Lord Mall 3, when I used to go to KFC, it used to be more white people in KFC buying all that shit than black people. But they'll talk about black people eating chicken, but I'm telling you, every time I went in KFC, their asses was in there more than we were. Okay? Right. And see, that's the thing. When you get a lot of the vegetable oil, the canola oil, and the corn oil, that stuff is coming from GMO plants. That's not coming from non GMO. There's a reason why they don't have non GMO on the bottle. Next time you pick it up, just look at the bottle. That stuff is coming from GMO plants, y'all. That's why it's dirt cheap and you can buy it. It is not good. The source of where that oil is coming from is not good. It's not non GMO. That's why you want to be careful buying that stuff. I used to, every now and then, I used to buy the corn oil, and that corn oil is coming from GMO plants. That's why they will never show you a bottle of canola oil, corn oil, or vegetable oil, and it says right on there, non-GMO. It never says that. Yeah, yeah, you want to steer clear. Like I said, if they're selling it to you cheap, Leah Lee, then that food ain't no good. chances are it's no good, especially if they're selling it dirt cheap. The dollar store is a place where they know a lot of black people shop. So they're going to have the place fully stocked with all kinds of food that is just not good for us. And they know it's not. They know they're selling you garbage. Hemp oil is good. In fact, the last time I was in the health food store, I saw they had it pretty stocked. Right, exactly, Shelley W. It's not that corn oil is bad, but the kind that they're selling you is bad. The kind they're selling you is coming from GMO plants. Always remember that. And the same thing with the canola. It's not coming from a source that's non-GMO. That's why they'll gladly sell you vegetable, canola, and corn all the time on the shelf. That's on the shelf more than anything else. Yes, the value potato chips, they are GMO. Exactly. Right, Mr. Punch Out, you're right. It's not real meat. Yeah, that's why it's best to make your food at home. At least you know what's in it. You know what's in the food that you prepare at home. Yes, but you know what? You can make your own cleaner SMAC. If you want to buy it because it's just more convenient, then that's good. But you can get baking soda and vinegar and make your own cleaner. In fact, vinegar is great if you have a coffee machine. That's what you should be cleaning it with, is your vinegar. Yes, they do. And again, the Vanguard Veritas, that is GMO steaks. Those are animals that were treated with hormones. And that's a reason why many of our daughters are now getting periods at 7 and 8 years old, eating all that GMO meat filled with hormones. And boys are growing titties and all that stuff. That's why. That's where it's coming from. Men are not supposed to have a high level of hormones in their diet. And a lot of these GMO foods have a lot of hormones in it. Yeah, you look at the calories in the McDonald's food, Xerxes 666. It's one meal is like a meal for the entire day. It's loaded in calories and empty calories to boot. So, mhm. Headaches, high blood pressure, and diabetes, all of that stuff, all of those diseases that we're getting is coming directly from the food that's being sold to the public. And my answer to them is, how you going to eat if we don't rely on white people for all the poisoning that you're doing to the black community? Keep your damn food. You eat it. That's how I feel. You eat your own GMO poison toxic food. You eat it. Serve it to your people. I would rather show our people how to garden and grow your own food. Now, in my township, I'm not allowed to have livestock, but the neighboring town where it's predominantly white, they're allowed to have chickens and some livestock. But you come across the bridge to my side of the town, they won't allow it. The township ordinance won't allow it. So go figure, right? In fact, a lot of times when you drive through the neighboring township, you can drive past and you see their chickens walking around in their front yard, because they're allowed to have it. Well, yeah, that's too bad, New Deep. I don't care about them being upset that we're rejecting their way of doing things. We tried their way of doing things. It's destructive to us. We shouldn't be trying to do it no more. That means we got to go in a different direction and try to do things differently. Plain and simple. I don't give a fuck about them being upset. We tried their way. Their way don't work well for us. Now we need to try things our way. Plain and simple. That's why I wish our people would, if you can't do organic, then try to grow your own. If you can't grow your own, then at least, some farmer markets are pretty good. If you can find a good farmer market, try that. But as far as the stuff that you get out of the regular supermarket, that stuff is all GMO. The vast majority of those fruits and vegetables that you're buying out of there, they're primarily GMO. Yakshiyad. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Even the soil is impure. You're right. That's absolutely correct. The soil is even not GMO. You know what, True Royal? You just brought something to my mind. I'm going to show y'all something. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Um, let me see if I can find this chicken. I used to have images of what chickens. Here we go. Here we go. All right. And you can see how chickens have changed. In 1957, the chickens that we eat today, look at the size. The chicken was 905 grams. Then when they start injecting hormones to fatten the chickens up, it went in 1978, 1,808 grams. Now a chicken today, as of 2005, is 4,202 grams. And that's all hormones being injected into the chicken. You are not getting natural chicken at all. Probably the closest thing to a natural chicken was in 1957 and prior. So you are virtually getting junk. That's what we're getting today. We are getting junk. You are getting all the drugs and hormones that's being put into that chicken. But this is what they call food and want you to continue to eat because they know your life expectancy is not going to be that long as you continue to eat their shit. So again, when white people say, how you going to eat? Take your shit. We will produce our own and feed ourselves. I would rather for us to grow our own crops, and we can grow non-GMO crops and eat from our own crops. We don't need nothing from them. As long as you got land in your backyard, you can grow your own fruits and vegetables. I do it. On my property, I got a plum tree and a pear tree. Okay, a plum and a pear tree. Get a lot of fruit from both of those trees. And I grow a garden and get plenty of fruits and vegetables and everything from my own garden. And I love eating from my own garden. Boy, you can tell the difference between what you buy out of the supermarket and what you get from your garden. the flavor alone will blow you away from the non-GMO vegetables that you can grow. So take your shit and go. I'm with the Ghana president. Take your shit and go. As long as there's seeds in this world, Black people can feed ourselves, period. Right. Let them eat their chemical and hormone and drug filled food. Let them eat it. Leave it on the shelf for them. Exactly, New Deep. I grow a variety of different peppers. I grow chili peppers, cayenne peppers, bell peppers, Hungarian peppers. I grow all those different peppers. I have like 4 or 5 different varieties of peppers that I grow. And just mixing that combination together in a stir fry is just unbelievable. It's so good. So good. And remember, stay away from the whites. Stay away from the whites. White bread, white rice, white sugar, all of that stuff is toxic. Stay away from the whites. Oh yeah, the fruit trees on this property, well, one been here since 2000. The plum tree has been on this property since 2000. The pear tree probably been back there since the 60s. So, they both bear a lot of fruit. So I know one of my cousins called me and he was like, I got a palm tree. I was like, take that shit back to the store. Get yourself a fruit tree. And he was laughing. I said, I'm dead serious. Take that shit back to the store and get yourself a fruit tree. So he did. He went out and got himself a fig tree. He loves figs. So he got a fig tree. Get something that you can eat from. Well, Water Sniper, they shouldn't be mad at all. We tried their way. We have tried their way. It doesn't work well for us. So now we got to do what's right for us. We tried everything. We tried to assimilate. We tried to live and tried to merge into the society. When it doesn't work, then that means we have to try something different, plain and simple. And one of the things that we got to start doing is control what we put in our bodies and stop letting them force us to eat garbage that they serve in these stores. We don't have to eat that shit because they're selling it. Always remember that. Yeah, we had an apple tree, Kira. We had an apple tree for years out in our backyard. And I think it's been back there since the 50s, but we had a ice storm in New Jersey and the tree never came back. But it was probably back there in the yard for a good 40 years before it died. But we had and it produced a lot of apples. It produced a lot of apples too. And that was the one fruit tree. And we also had another plum tree. And well, my brother hit that tree with a car. So we don't have we don't have that tree anymore. But there were 2 plum trees, a pear tree, and an apple tree on this property. S. Wiseman, you have a fig tree. Yeah, see, that's exactly what we need to be eating from, whatever we grow. And you can go to a nursery, you can get a cherry tree, you can get all types of nice fruit trees and grow it on your property. That's what we have to do. We got to start taking control of the things that are going to impact our lives the most. Uh-huh. That's where my cousin lived. I told him to go take that palm tree back and get a fruit tree. And he lives in Georgia and he got a fig tree. Now it's going to probably take about 3, 4 years for him to be able to eat from it, but eventually he will be able to eat from that tree. Yeah, they said white is right, my greatness of me. Oh, my greatness. No, you got to stay away from the whites. No white sugar, no white um, rice, all of the white things are things we are not supposed to have. And technically, we're not even supposed to drink their white milk. You know, cow's milk is for calves. It's for calves, y'all. That's why so many Black people are lactose intolerant because that milk was never intended for us to drink. We were never supposed to drink it. I just made some red wine stew Saturday. Wow. Sheila, that's amazing. Yeah, like I said, this is what we have to do. We have to take our lives in a whole different direction. If they bitch and complain, we let them know, look, we tried it your way. Your way don't work for us, so we're going to try it this way. This is what we're going to do. Plain and simple. I have been forced to drink milk, but never did on my own. Yeah, well, I had to stop drinking a lot of cow's milk. I realized I was lactose intolerant probably like 5 years ago. Every time I would drink milk, it used to feel like a brick was in my stomach. And eventually I started getting cramping right after I drink some cow's milk. So I don't drink it anymore. I have almond milk, exactly, Water Sniper. I have almond milk at my house. And I have no issues with the almond milk. And plus, I like it better than the calf milk. Well, D Cindy, we can't worry about the Uncle Toms. Let them eat the GMO shit that white people eat. I don't care. We can't be concerned about them. Well, that's their problem. You put junk in your supermarket, Nicole CNC, then that's what's going to happen. Exactly. As wise men, they never made it easy for the Black farmer in this country. That's another issue where I think we should have done a better job in taking control when this government was giving Black farmers a hard time and not funding them where they could make a living being Black farmers. I think we should have stepped in and funded and took care of our Black farmers and got all of our produce from them. That's what we should have done. That's what we should have done. We should have propped up our farmers. And that would have inspired a lot of Black people to become farmers if we would have took care of our own. And we made a huge mistake by not taking care of our Black farmers, where they were struggling out here for getting loans and everything else. They shouldn't have been struggling because we should have been backing our Black farmers. So we really dropped the ball right there. Yeah, I drink almond milk too, and I don't have any more issues with stomach problems like I did with cow milk. Right. Yeah, that's very true. 12 keys to freedom. Soy is not really a good thing to have either. Very good. Lord Mall 3, try goat's cheese. There's other more healthier cheese for you to have. I stay out of the beefs, D. Cindy, only because number one, these caucasoids love when we don't get along. They love it. And I'm not about to give them what they want as far as us fighting with each other. And that is a big reason why I did not do a video on Tyreek and Umar beef. I just don't want to get involved in that because that is not the light that we should be putting out here. I think if there is an issue within our community, we resolve that ourselves. When you post those videos out on YouTube, you're inviting the enemy into the fight. That's what you're doing. And I refuse to do that. I'm not going to invite them into our fights. Yeah, I just don't want to do that. That's the only reason why you haven't seen me post a video on that. And those that did, if that's what you wanted to do, then you knock yourself out. It's just my choice not to do that. I think it's been too many occasions where they have gotten themselves involved in fights within the Black community. And the only way we can stop that is airing our shit out in public. I mean, if you want to make those kind of videos, put those videos on the Black social media and not YouTube. That's my suggestion. If you just absolutely have to and want to do it, put it out on Black Junction, put it out on Black Spot, but minus YouTube out of the whole thing. That way it's just in front of our audience and no one else. I think I talked to you on Black Spot. Yeah, you probably did. I go out there. In fact, I was out on Black Spot today. I was out there today. Just interacting with a few people. Yeah, Awaken Israelite. I feel the same way. I can barely get through the videos because I just don't like to see, especially our Black men fighting. I don't like to see the women fighting either, but I just think there is something about our men fighting. It is just heartbreaking. No, Black Spot is not free. Black Junction TV is. Black Junction TV is free. I'm not embarrassed by our fights, Nicole CNC. I'm embarrassed when our fights are in front of other nations that really have nothing to do with our fights. But our brothers disagreeing is fine, but it just not in front of them. That's all I'm saying. To me, there's a time and a place for us to air out. Yes, my greatness. I can give you some information on that. Work from home. But I'm just saying it's a time and place for us to air out our differences, but not in front of them. And like I said, if you really, really want to make a video and speak your opinion, just put it on Black social media. Don't put it on YouTube at all. They have meddled in our lives enough. Somewhere along the line, we got to cut that shit off. That's all I'm saying. It's time for us to turn that shit off, where they can't meddle as much as they think they can. No, but we can do things to have less of them involved in our stuff. What Betty wore, yeah, we live in the system of white supremacy, but we now have Black social media where they don't get to interject in our affairs like they can on YouTube. And I think we need to take advantage of that. Thank you, Vanguard Burritos. Yeah, you know what? CK Nelson, I use lemons as a diuretic. That's what I have in the morning. And, a lot of people don't realize lemons are actually a natural diuretic. You should have some green tea with some lemons in it. If you need a good cleansing, believe me, you'll get cleansed. I do that all the time. Or sometimes I'll just have hot water with lemon and a little bit of raw honey, and I will drink that as well. Lemons are real good as far as cleansing. And if you have acne, do you know you can put lemons on your acne and it will dry your acne up? Lemons are amazing. They are, CK. They are amazing. That's why so many cleaners have lemon in it, because lemons just strip out, it has the ability to strip out dirt. And that's why when you go on the market, you see so many cleansers with lemon in it. That's why. That's what I had this morning. I had some green tea with lemon, and it was really good. And I have a big bag of organic lemons that I bought. Well, yeah, Lord Mall 3, they try to get involved in our stuff, and on top of that, they don't help. So what's the point in them being involved and they're not helping? They're just coming to get sheer pleasure out of our fighting. That's why I'm just saying we need to close the door to all that bullshit. It's not like they're coming and they're trying to help the situation. They don't come to help. They come for entertainment purposes. And I'm not about to entertain them with our fighting. I'm not going to do it. Miss B Life, same to you. Yeah, I actually had a relative that had a lemon tree in their backyard, and it was bearing a lot of lemons. Now, I don't know if they still have it. That was many years ago. I don't even know if the thing is still living. Yeah, do you know if you use chlorophyll every day, you will no longer smell at all? If you use chlorophyll every single day, you will not smell at all. It actually balances out everything in your body, and that stench that you would normally have would be gone. Yeah, there are so many good things, that we can have. So I'm just saying, you know, just consider, even if you can't do nothing but grow one plant because maybe you just don't have the room, try to grow at least a tomato or even a pepper plant. You'll get tons of pepper. Um, do you know one hot pepper plant produces over 300 peppers? I only have to grow one. I usually just grow one chili pepper plant. One chili pepper plant, I can get 300 peppers from. And I'm not exaggerating, y'all. 300 peppers from one plant. All you need is the space in your house where you get plenty of sunlight. If you can do that, then I'm telling you, you won't want for another hot pepper. You really won't. Yes, a lot of the green leafy vegetables are easy, especially lettuce. Lettuce is another one that's very easy. I usually do like 3 different lettuce varieties and make myself a fresh salad. I had over the summer, because I have so much lettuce growing outside, I have a fresh salad almost every day. And thank you, Leah Lee. You please come back and enjoy my videos and my hangouts. Exactly, CK. Really, cayenne pepper oil. And even actually the cayenne pepper that's dried and ground up, that's also really good. Exactly. I mean, you can grow cucumbers and get a jar and make your own pickles. You can make your very own pickles. Yeah, a lot of people have a patio garden out here where I live, Regina Davison. They just buy a lot of large pots and they'll put something different in each pot. They'll have like tomatoes in one pot, peppers, onions growing in another pot. I knew one lady had strawberries growing in a pot, lettuce growing in a pot. In each pot, she just had something different growing in it. And that's how she grew her garden and had a pretty damn good garden too. So you don't have to dig up your ground if you choose not to do that. You can just do a patio garden. And the thing is, you know what? Tomatoes thrive in the heat. The hotter it is, woo, you'll have some good tomatoes. The hotter it is outside, the more the tomatoes love it. The tomato plant loves it, loves heat. And so do watermelon. If you want to grow your own melons, melons are like that too. The hotter it is, the better they do. And also cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is very easy to grow. I grow cantaloupe every year too. Very easy to grow. Yeah, you can do, long as in your apartment, because I helped out a friend that was in an apartment. She had a balcony, and we just put a bunch of pots out on her balcony and had her growing tomatoes and onions and all kinds of things right there on her balcony. If you don't, if you have at least a balcony where you can put some pots, yes, you can grow a few things. Oh, Emo Jones, thank you so much for coming. Yeah, you can make all kinds of salads. Like I said, I love having a salad straight from my garden. I love it. And always have a ton of tomatoes. A few years I had to give some away. I had so many. Ginger is good. I like ginger. In fact, I used to put a little bit of ginger in my tea, especially if I had a sore throat, because it just warms your throat up so well. Yeah, I have the Tom's non-fluoride toothpaste. That's the only toothpaste I will buy. Sometimes I'll use straight baking soda as well. Yeah, an herb garden is awesome. If you got room to grow an herb garden, you're right, Regina Davis. You can grow your own basil, your own thyme, um, your own just your own herbs, and then sprinkle that baby right on your food. Yeah, ginger is great. Like I said, it is great. It's unbeatable if you have a sore throat. Man, if you next time you have a sore throat, grab some ginger. It's very soothing. It'll feel like your throat's on fire, but I'm telling you, you'll get over your sore throat a lot faster if you use ginger and make right. Kara, make like a ginger tea. Exactly. Yeah, Tom's, yeah. You can get that online. I usually buy 2 of the Tom's toothpaste, non-fluoride toothpaste at a time. I think it's like 7 or $8 on Amazon. And I usually get 2 because I use one and I give one to my son. Yeah, Cianlo, we used to always have a garden. My dad was a gardener. He learned from his father, who was a sharecropper. And when I was growing up, the whole time I grew up, we had a garden in the backyard every single year. In fact, I don't recall a year when there wasn't one in my backyard. My father always kept a garden going every single year. So we were always eating our own greens. We were eating our own cabbage. He used to grow okra and all kinds of things, peppers and onions. We ate our own stuff. Absolutely, Mr. Punch Out. Thank you for being here. And by the way, if you're going to start a garden, ladies and gentlemen, February is the month you need to start getting your seeds. If you're going to grow anything, start going online and look for non-GMO seeds. And the good part is once you grow your garden, you can take your seeds directly from the plant. You don't even have to buy any more seeds the following year. You can just use the seeds that come from the plant. Yes, I am. Baratiki, yes. Yeah, you can get seeds from a catalog as long as you make sure those seeds are non-GMO. That's what you want to buy. But really, this is a time, especially February, that's the time you want to start getting your seeds and determining what you want to grow. And if you intend on growing strawberries, you need to get your strawberries and plant them by February. That way, by June, you'll start having your strawberries that you can eat. Because I grow strawberries every year, and you got to get them planted by February. Plant in February, enjoy by June. Same to you, Thaddeus, Wendell Brown. Same to you. Yeah, we have a lot of people. In fact, my next door neighbors, they even grow gardens. My Haitian next door neighbors don't. But I have white neighbors on one side. They grow gardens every year. And then I grow them, but my Haitian neighbors, they don't grow anything in their yard. Yeah, if you want to try strawberries, make sure you plant them in February. It's going to be cold, but it's okay. They do well in the cold. So, and the nice thing about strawberries too, Regina Davison, you'll get your first batch of strawberries like around June, and the plant will seem like it's withering and dying in September. Thank you. Thank you for the $2 donation. Avia. Yisrael. The nice thing about it, after it bears fruit in June, it'll almost seem like it's doing nothing. When the temperature starts dropping and getting cooler in the fall, you'll get another batch of strawberries. That's the beautiful thing. And you don't really have to replant strawberries. They come back every year. Once you put them in the ground, they'll just come back every single year. Hi. Oh, thank you for joining, Randolph. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Um, yeah, watermelons are good, and try to get a different variety of watermelons. If you just want to grow one, then you can. The crimsons are probably the easiest watermelon to grow, and also the sugar babies. A lot of people around here like to grow the sugar babies, but one year I grew an orange one. I had an orange watermelon. So it depends. You can get the yellow meat ones, the ones that are yellow on the inside. My father told me when he was growing up, they sold yellow and red watermelons. Those were the two that they sold in the South when he was growing up. No, and in fact, Nicole CNC, I grow all of my strawberries in pots. No, I just have them in 3 separate pots. They're large pots. And I put the plants are great because you can plant them kind of close together and they do just fine. You do want, some space in between, but even if you have to put 5 plants in one pot, like a big enough pot, they do just fine. And I don't even have to do anything for them to come back the next year. What I do is I put some fertilizer down and they just come back. They come back on their own every single year. I don't have to do anything. Yeah, my father told me those were the two that he saw growing up in the South. He said they had the yellow and the red watermelons. And you can grow the yellow ones as well in the summer. Yeah, there's a lot of good recipes for making your own toothpaste online. Some people have done it. I did it many years ago, but not recently. Yeah, well, see, in my area, we have some rodents too that, unfortunately, they eat the same things that we like, but there's ways you can deter them from coming around your garden. If you're having rodent issues, try to put some hot peppers near your garden because they don't like hot peppers at all. They don't like hot peppers. Hi, Queen, the radical home goddess. Hmm. Yeah, but in fact, my father was the first one to introduce me to the yellow meat watermelon. And a lot of people don't realize sometimes that yellow watermelon is sweeter than the red ones. Yeah, the Detroit Lives 313, my relative had a lemon tree and it really wasn't that tall. I don't think they get real big. Hmm. Kim Jones, I grow 12 green bean plants. You should see what they produce. I put 12 of them outside, and man, they throw off so many string beans. It's not even funny. Have endless amounts of string beans. Yeah, we can do, I can do videos on gardening and tell you the best time of the year to plant certain fruits and vegetables. I can definitely go over that. Not a problem. It's okay, Queen. We know that you love us all. We love you. It's okay, radical home goddess. We know that sometimes everything goes by so fast on the screen you can hardly keep up. Oh, I love I grow them every year and try to get a lot of plants. I do at least 12 plants, and then when they stop producing, I put another 12 plants out there. I do it like in a cycle. Like after once, because you'll notice when the plant stops reproducing as many green beans, that it's time for you to start putting a new set of plants in. And you just keep that cycle going from spring all the way through fall, and you'll have a lot of green beans, a lot. So do I, Lisa Green. I love green beans. I do too. Yeah, it is a learning process, but after a few seasons, you'll get the hang of gardening. You really will. You will get the hang of it. Regina, this is for your health, not only for yourself, but your family. You get to grow and live off of what you grow. There's no, let me tell you something. That's why I love having a garden, because there is nothing more liberating than walking in a supermarket and you don't need one drop of their produce. I have experienced that every year and I love it. I love it. Broccoli and cauliflower is very easy to grow. I do broccoli every single year. And believe me, when you pick from your garden and even make a stir fry, the smell of it is going to just blow you away. It's going to smell so different from what you get from the supermarket. You will hardly, you will hardly not believe it. I remember even onions. I remember bringing onions in from my garden and cutting those onions up and putting them in my skillet. Oh my God, the smell is just unbelievable compared to what you get. The ones I get from the supermarket don't even smell half that fresh. There is a huge difference. Yeah, yeah. If you like mushrooms, you absolutely can grow mushrooms. Mushrooms are pretty easy. It is. It is. Ayapo Yapa, it is. When you disconnect from their GMO food, I'm telling you, the fresh, non GMO food that you can grow for yourself is unbeatable. In fact, you won't even want to go back to their food. Once you start tasting what comes out of your garden, you will never want to go back. Oh, yeah, this is a good conversation. But yeah, I'll put together a video on seeds and the time of the year to grow them, because it's all done in stages. But once you have everything out there growing and you're going out there eating out of your own garden, it's unbeatable. Yeah, that's true. M. Cook, the mushrooms have a tendency of absorbing a lot of different flavors, and that's very true. Yeah. Radical home goddess, you can do a summer garden. You can also do a fall garden. And broccoli is one of those things, along with greens that really look. I had greens growing in the snow. Okay. I had greens growing in the snow. There are certain vegetables that can survive the cold without any problem. This is why you can do summer garden, and then when summer's up, you can do a fall garden and put all things in there that do just fine in cooler weather. My grandmother used to raise chickens and she would give us eggs. And man, I miss those days. I really do. She used to give us a whole bunch of eggs from her chickens. And it was so different. My grandmother had 8 pecan trees on her property. And she used to take the pecans into town to a manufacturing company that would shell them and package them. And she would take that money, and that's how she paid her property taxes every single year with that, with what she grew from those 8 pecan trees on her property. We don't need all the bells and whistles of the Caucasoid. We really don't. And plus, the Most High told us we shouldn't be jealous of them anyway. We shouldn't be jealous of them or jealous of anything they have. It's nothing to be jealous of, ladies and gentlemen, nothing. Oh, I grow a variety of carrots too. Oh, I love them. I love them. I love the carrots that come from my garden. Oh my God, they are so sweet. Yeah, but grow your own. Grow some non-GMO carrots, not the ones that you buy out of the white man's supermarket. Not those. Let him eat that. He grew the monster food. Let him eat it. Yeah, and sometimes, Regina Davison, the peaches that they sell you don't even have any flavor or taste to them. They really don't. But you can still get some good sweet peaches. There's a lot of people in New Jersey with peach trees around me. A lot of them got peach trees. In fact, one of my close friends, people used to reach in their yard and pull the peaches off of their tree. Because hers used to grow really big. And a lot of times, the school kids would walk past and see all those peaches loaded on her tree, and they reach over the fence and grab some of her peaches. Yeah, carrots and broccoli is good. Absolutely. You got that right. And carrots are another one. You really don't have to do too much of nothing to grow some good carrots. They're pretty carefree. Thank you, Dallas Prem. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get off of this live stream. I want to thank you all for coming. Just a quick announcement. Those of you that are my patrons, we'll be doing another private hangout probably at the end of this week. We will probably do it at the end of this week. Okay. So just look for my live stream. I'll probably give it to you maybe like around Thursday of this week, and either Friday or Saturday, we'll do another private hangout. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. I really deeply appreciate your presence, and it's always a pleasure just sitting and shooting the breeze with you. And we will definitely do this again real soon. Please enjoy the rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen. Shalom.